Clerk, we have Chris Corgus here who will be presenting on this item. This ordinance before us authorizes the Department of Election to hold a special election on the formation of the Community Benefit District. I just want to recognize the members of the steering committee for their tenacity and active involvement in working towards reaching the 30% threshold in order to move forward with the special election. In particular, I want to recognize our chair, James Spinello, of our steering committee for volunteering numerous hours to coordinate and lead the meetings and outreach. I also want to recognize the other members of the steering committee, Brendan Tobin, Alex Ludlam, Tim Figueres, Ryan Jackson, Deborah Benedict, Adam Mesnick, as well as other parties that were involved. This Community Benefit District really is based on years of work that our office has done. Initially, first, to bring together all the myriad of very small neighborhood organizations that make up the western South of Market, including our different alleyways, and trying to convene a larger neighborhood association. Over time, it's just really clear that this neighborhood needs additional support, and this community benefit district can greatly enhance the services that are needed in this district, whether it's increased security or street cleaning and other such services, particularly for those of our neighbors and residents that unfortunately live on our streets as well. And we are surrounded by several CBDs, including Yerba Buena, East Cut, and Central Market and Tenderloin CBD. But I want to hand over the presentation to Chris Corgus.
Thank you, Chair Kim, Supervisor Peskin, Supervisor Brown. Chris Corgus, Senior Program Manager with the Office of Economic and Workforce Development. Today I'm presenting the resolution of intention sponsored by Supervisor Kim to establish the property-based community benefit district known as the SoMa West Community Benefit District. Since 2016, the SoMa West CBD Steering Committee has been conducting outreach to determine if there was interest among property owners, merchants, and residents in establishing the district. What should the established CBD boundaries be? What services needed to be provided to meet the needs of the district? How should the assessment methodology be structured? And how long should an established district be in place for given the goals of the new CBD? The proposed fiscal year 2019-20 budget for the district will be $3.9 million, of which $3.8 million of it will come from assessment funds. The goals of the district is to improve the appearance and safety of the district, to increase the business occupancy and lease rates, to encourage new business development, and to attract ancillary businesses and services. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat this morning. These service areas are clean, safe, and beautiful, which will be approximately 80% of the budget. Marketing and advocacy, approximately 7.56% of the budget, and the administration of the district, approximately 9% of the budget. The petition was mailed to over 2,700 different property owners, 589 individuals representing 30.28% responded in favor of moving forward with the CBD, which represents $1.1 million of assessments. 274 of the respondents responded no, which represented about 13% of the district. Out of the 2,700 that were sent out, 863 total petitions were returned. With me today is Aaron Alenta from Urban Place Consulting, who was the management plan consultant and engineering consultant for this CBD, to present a little more about the district.
Thank you, Chris, and good morning, supervisors. My name is Aaron Alenta. I'm with Urban Place Consulting Group. As Chris mentioned, the consulting group hired to work on the SoMa West CBD. It's a pleasure to be here today and to have this group and the steering committee here reaching the point that they have. It's very exciting. As has been discussed, there was extensive community outreach and education to the public, to the property owners, to the residents, business owners. The stakeholder group has been working since 2016 on this outreach process. So there's multiple surveys sent with feasibility studies, several info workshops to the public. They have a robust website that's up that has all the information needed on the site. They've got a Facebook page, and they've had since formed a steering committee that has led the process that's conducted approximately 35 meetings as well. They've been at the SoMa Sunday Streets event, outreaching to the public, the Filipinas Night Market in SoMa. They've also secured several grants that have helped funded this process. In front of you is just an outreach poster that went up on all the businesses in the neighborhood. It was on their website, and it's a really good overview of what the CBD is about and what the mission of the group is. These are the proposed boundaries of the district. It's rather large. As Chris mentioned, it's about 2,700 parcels. The programs, improvements, activities are primarily about 80% of the budget is going to be on clean, safe, and beautiful. It includes foot, bicycle, vehicle patrols, possibly a security camera program, pedestrian bike safety program, a sidewalk clean team with pressure washing, graffiti removal, trash removal, landscape programs, public space activation, and art programs. About $300,000 of the budget, 7.5% of that is going to marketing and advocacy. It includes destination marketing, community events, social media and website, community grants, and district advocacy, among some of the services. Besides that, there's also money for administration, of $350,000, and then a contingency and reserve line item for those that might not pay the assessment. So it comes out to a total budget of almost $4 million. The assessment methodology is based on two property assessment variables, parcel or land square footage, and then building square footage. Just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the steering committee and the consulting group.
Are there any questions for OEWD or Urban Place Consulting on this district?
I don't see any questions from committee members. Thank you very much. Thank you so much to Urban Place Consulting for working with our broad stakeholders group. And I do want to thank our previous executive director for the Tenderloin Community Benefit District, Steve Gibson, if he's here, and Aaron and Katie. So at this time, I'm going to open up for public comment for this item. And please come up to the mic. Mr. Spinello. And we'll give you additional time as the chair.
Okay. So I had put a little diagram. I don't know if you can pull up.
SF Gov TV, if we could pull up the.
Okay.
Great.
I thank you very much, Jane Kim, for all of your help and support throughout this process. I've lived in the neighborhood since 2002, and I noticed for a long time that there was needs and changes that continually needed to be addressed. While I was doing this, a neighbor of mine started a neighborhood watch group, and I saw a lot of success with that. And with that success, I actually started a neighborhood watch group. But while I was doing this, I started to realize that there were a lot of people, just like myself, who were voicing their concerns and opinions, but they were all small voices. And the more I kind of dealt with this, the more I started to understand that all of these voices were yelling and screaming. And I apologize for when I was yelling and screaming at you and the supervisors. I was sending a lot of emails. But people didn't know how to address that. They didn't know what to do. But the reality is all of those voices they all had the same goal, including you. We all had the goal of trying to make a cleaner, a safer, a more vibrant neighborhood. And since I've been in the neighborhood, I've noticed more people joining. I've noticed more people moving in for businesses. I've noticed more families moving in. I've noticed a lot of people calling it their home. We've had a lot of new development coming in, and there is projects continually building. We have that great one. We have L7 and we have 855 Brannan, large, complexes. And while I was working with this and started to understand what really a community benefit district was, that kind of understood what we needed to do. We all needed to come together. And it was amazing because I started to see that there were these groups that were starting to set themselves up. There was Better SoMa and Western SoMa Voice. There were all these small neighborhood watch groups, as you just mentioned. We all had the same ideas, and I noticed that they all started to come together. And under your leadership, it really made a difference.
If we could allow the chair to continue.
What I noticed was that we were able to really come together, and I was amazed how everyone really had that same goal. And it was the volunteer steering committee that really made a difference, that allowed what I was trying to do actually happen. it wasn't just me, it was a culmination of everyone. And it was everyone that was involved with not just the steering committee, but the people that we reached out to. We reached out to businesses, communities, and organizations, as well as property owners, small and large. So here today, I also have our steering committee that would like to say a few words, and we do have some organizations as well. And I really appreciate everything that this has been up to this point, and I look forward to moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Spinello. Ms. Benedict?
Hi, Deborah Benedict, 75 Door, as you know, steering committee member, and really just a citizen and a participant as you and everyone is in this project. We've been working quite diligently and regularly to bring together an improvement in our neighborhood that we all recognize needed to be happening. And quite frankly, I was part of the small groups that were being meeting, and also with the not the supervisor, but the police chief, and also the person in charge of the Southern Station, Captain Fong, about the issues and problems. And I was going to bouncing from meeting to meeting, as many people were. So in meeting different people, I came across James, and we shared a vision that we could improve as regular people that live there, walk there, shop there. We could improve the neighborhood. And we're very grateful for your help in providing us the opportunity and the direction through Chris Corliss to be able to create something that we hope, with the help of the voters and property owners and business people in our neighborhood, to be able to increase the quality of life for everyone transiting through, as well as for the people like myself who live there every day. So I want to thank everyone who participated in the steering committee with me and showed up week after week, night after night, to work on the details of bringing this project forward. And I can't tell you, I'm so grateful to look at the end of the long slog and the actual progression of this project, so that we come to a conclusion and begin to have services. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, supervisors. My name is Alex Ludlum. I'm a member of the volunteer committee and neighborhood resident. I just wanted to expand on one thing James said about the public input and the community outreach. I've never been involved in any organization that was so exhaustive in its efforts. Frankly, if I had known just how exhaustive, I might not have been so keen. But we had 3 separate surveys that we modified each time to try to increase the response rate, both by mail, that was delivered to everyone in the district, and online. We had constant weekly public meetings. All our steering committee meetings were open to the public, and we eagerly invited people, both in person and on our flyers. Speaking of the flyers, I've never been part of an organization that updated its merchant posters, in the windows every time the dates passed to include the upcoming meetings. So it's really been a long road, and I'm very pleased at the diverse groups who have participated on the committee, who have given us their opinion. We truly have been adaptive to people's inputs as it comes in, both from the surveys and emails. Thanks very much.
Thank you. And by the way, the first bell is just the 30-second reminder. But thank you for being brief.
Okay, my name's Tim Figueres, and unlike the others, I don't live in SoMa. I no longer work in SoMa, but I love the community and the neighborhood so much that something like this community benefits district would really help the neighborhood. And I was fortunate enough to be able to work with all of them, as well as noticed all you've done, Supervisor Kim, to help this fruition if this CBD come along. So I'm just here to thank you and thank all of the steering committee with the hope that it definitely will make Western SoMa and the SoMa neighborhood community a better neighborhood.
Thank you so much, Mr. Figueres, and also just so excited that we were able to name the batting cages at Victoria Manala Draves Park after you and your 30 years of service to the South of Market community.
Supervisors, my name is Harold Hugasian. I operate a flower shop for the last 19 years in South of Market. I own a building there, and I'm also the vice president of SoMa, the South of Market Business Association, which has been involved earlier than later with this project due to James's regular updating of posters. But I got one of the very first ones, and it was easy because I could tell people, just look at the door, there it is, that's when the next meeting is. And I'm going to tell you that James has told me this project's going to cost me in terms of $4,400 a year. That's on top of the $22,000 a year in taxes I pay on that building. And I'm so happy to be able to do it because I know that we're going to get a return on it far beyond the return we get on that original $22K I spent. So nothing personal, but the further you throw money away, the less of it comes back. I've got a friend who owns more property in some South of Market within a block of me than I do, and she's opposed to it. And I'm working to get her to be on the committee, even if it passes, because I know it's going to pass, because our friendship was solidified when she saw me painting graffiti off of my building about 15 years ago. So it's got to go. Let's do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hugasian, and that's absolutely the way to get folks that are opposed on board. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Eric Silverman. I'm a resident and homeowner in West SoMa. My wife and I were fortunate enough to purchase a home there last year. We own one unit in a 2-unit building. The other people who own the unit above us have a 3-year-old kid. They decided a few months ago that they were tired of walking over needles. They were tired of all the issues on the street, and they weren't comfortable having their kid being raised in that kind of neighborhood anymore. My wife and I are probably going to have a kid in a few years, and I don't want to have to make that decision. We bought that home and frankly spent way too much on it because we want to stay there, and we really like it. And I'm in so much support of this kind of neighborhood leadership. I actually feel like this could be a program that really helps the neighborhood and actually brings it to the status of other neighborhoods. So thank you for the consideration. It's obviously a great idea.
Thank you.
Hello, and thank you, Supervisors Kim, Peskin, and Brown. My name is Adam Tongsfoot. I serve on Airbnb's public policy team in San Francisco. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'd like to start by thanking Supervisor Kim for your ongoing support of SoMa West CBD's formation. Airbnb is proud to call SoMa home. On behalf of Airbnb and our 3,000 employees, we enthusiastically support the formation of the SoMa West CBD. As the largest employer in the proposed district, we believe the CBD will ensure the vitality, safety, and the cleanliness of our neighborhood for years to come. We are proud to stand with residents today and business owners, small and large, to form the benefit district that will thoughtfully address some of the most pressing issues of our neighborhood. We kindly ask the Government Audit and Oversight Committee to support the formation of the SoMa West CBD. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, my name is Brendan Tobin, and I'm on the steering committee of the SoMa West CBD. I first became involved with the CBD because I live near the border of Yerba Buena, but just on the other side. And so I firsthand saw how the side of the street in the Yerba Buena Community Benefit District was cleaner than my side of the street. And I initially wondered why that was, and I found out about the Yerba Buena Community Benefit District and found out about the efforts to form a community benefit district in my neighborhood in the western half of SoMa. So I've been very involved in helping with communication and curating the monthly emails and all of the email and other communications going out to members. And being part of the Community Benefit District has also helped me learn more about the unique character of this neighborhood. I'm constantly impressed by meeting people like Tim who have had such a big impact in the neighborhood and have such a strong legacy. And so I'm very excited that the Community Benefit District will help introduce more people to the sort of unique character and legacy of the neighborhood as well. And finally, I want to thank the supervisors and everyone else who's been put in so much work to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi there. Hello, supervisors. I'm Ryan Jackson. I'm a West SoMa resident. I'm a West SoMa appointee to the Planning Commission's Eastern Neighborhood Citizens Advisory Committee. I'm also a steering committee member for the SoMa West CBD. And I'm enthusiastic here today in support of forming this CBD because it will make our neighborhood clean, safe, and beautiful. And I thank you for your vote.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Eric Lopez. I've been a resident of SoMa West for about 2018 for 10 years. Prior to that, I've worked in the neighborhood from 95. I've seen the evolution of our district change in the 20 plus years I've been in this area. I'm part of the steering committee. I have the same issues that James came about the formation. A lot of the issues that we had were very similar in my neighborhood that's on the edge of that area. I do support this. We want to reclaim our neighborhood for all the different aspects of it to make it cleaner, beautiful, and safer. So please support this endeavor for us to form this community benefit district.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you, supervisors. My name is Misha Olivas. I am with United Players, and I don't need to go over the challenges and ills of walking through the streets of SoMa, but I'm here today not only as a representative for United Players, but also as a resident. And I would love to talk about the hope and progress that this process has kind of brought. I think that it's super unique to see a neighborhood in San Francisco where current residents, old residents, future residents, community workers, tech workers, everyone is working together to make the neighborhood better. And so I cannot state my support strong enough of this process, and we're super excited for the improvements that it will bring. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Foley, and I want to be Misha because she's awesome. Anyway, I've been involved in SoMa for about 30 years now. I renovated the church at 10th and Howard. I built the market in the Twitter building, and I've helped United Players in some inadvertent ways at various sundry times. But I believe that the Western SoMa Community Benefits District is really important. I'm actually on the East Cut Community Benefits District Board and Exec Committee, and we've done an amazing job, or that group's done an amazing job on hiring people that are actually homeless and getting them into job training, having them work and have a stable job, and then actually leave the clean team and go work for different retail and restaurants in the area. So it's also a great job training program. So I'm really supportive of this, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Foley.
I do know that there were a lot of people who actually came here who didn't want to speak. So if everyone could at least stand who supports the SoMa West CBD who's here today, that would be awesome. Thank you very much for coming and supporting us. Thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you, Mr. Spinello. So seeing no further public comment at this time is closed. I really just want to thank everyone who came here today. And actually, I didn't acknowledge Mr. Foley, but Mr. Foley was at the first meeting helping us convene folks together and suggested that Mr. Spinello be the chair of the steering committee. This is really a project that I feel like has taken about 6 years really to come to full fruition from when Sunny Angulo, who now works for Supervisor Peskin, started convening the Western SoMa neighborhood committee meetings. But I have to say one thing that I'm really proud of is how diverse this committee is. And it's not in a lot of neighborhoods where both existing longtime residents and new residents actually come and work together instead of creating more tension and division, but working together to make the neighborhood safer and cleaner and healthier for all of us. And I'm really excited about what this community benefit district will do. I'm right on the edge, so one side of my alleyway is part of Central Market, and the other side will be part of hopefully the new West SoMa CBD. So next year I'll be able to join as a citizen member and participate and work with our supervisor-elect, Matt Haney. But I really am very hopeful for what the CBD will do, and it's really been amazing to see what the East Cut and Yerba Buena Community Benefit District has done. And I know West SoMa has felt like it ignored part of South of Market because it's not where the tourists are, it's not City Hall, it's not mid-market where we're attracting companies to come to. It's a residential neighborhood with a lot of diversity and a lot of need. And so I think that the CBD is really going to support our neighborhood, and as Mr. Hugasian said, it's being directly directed by the residents and small business owners that live there. So, colleagues, seeing no further comment or questions at this time, I'm hoping that we can make a motion to move these items with recommendation to the full board, and we can do that without objection. Thank you to everyone who came here today.